Hey, today I thought I'd talk to you guys about some more stuff about personal security. Today I'm going to talk about bots and bot networks and what they do and what they're for and why people do it. Anyways, let's start out with what's a bot network. Well, hey, I'll start out with this. A few years ago, I don't know, 10 years ago, somewhere around there was an attack on Vandenberg Air Force Base out in California, right? And it shut down their network for, I think it was 9 days, if I remember right. Turns out it was an attack done by what's now known as a bot network. Roughly about, I think it was 15,000 or so bots, a network of bots, right? They attacked Vandenberg Air Force Base secure network. Right now, we're talking about a United States Air Force Base computer network, one of the supposedly, saying absolutely secure computer networks that you can get, right? Well, a group of individuals that had taken over a bunch of laptops and tablets and PCs, turned them into robots, into bots, unknown to the people that own them, right? Directed this, they banded all these machines together and did a forced attack, and bingo, they got in, they shut down Vandenberg Air Force Base for 9 days. It took all of them super techie, genius Air Force guys, it took them a while to figure out what was, number one, what was going on, number two, how to try to combat it. Number three, what they finally figured out was the only way they could stop the attack was to shut down the network. Right? Anyway, so that's the power of a bot network. What is a bot network? Well, here, let's start out with what's a bot. A bot is your machine turned into a mindless robot being controlled by someone else. How do they do this? Well, it's pretty simple. First of all, they write, the bad guys, the computer bad guys, right? What they do is they have their programmers write a little program, a little script, right, that scans IP addresses. And when they find one that's unprotected, right, it gets itself in there, and then it kicks in a secondary program that's specifically designed to take control of your machine underneath your browser, where you don't know it. You could be actually be on your machine working right now, skimming, anything. You could be looking at, eBay, whatever, And when the program gets underneath, it takes control of the hardware of your machine, the software, and it turns it into a mindless robot. Pretty much, that's about the only way I can say it. You don't know this, right? Because there's no outward signs that anything is going on, but it's linked back to the network. So now your machine is part of the network. All right, it runs underneath, in the software, right, and it allows you to go back online. It allows you to do your banking. It allows you to do whatever, upload pictures, download pictures, talk to grandma on the Facebook, whatever, make telephone calls from your laptop. You are unaware that your machine is now a bot, and that's the simplicity of it. That's what these bad guys, that's what they want. And then once they get enough of these bots, they use these bots to break into banks, break into secure networks, break into corporations, break into whatever they want, and surf around and find whatever information they want, and then do whatever bad people do. How do you know if your machine's a bot? Well, you really don't. There are a couple of ways that you can tell if you're aware of what's going on. A friend of mine did this to me a while back to prove to me that it could be done. He infected my machine from his house a couple of blocks away, and what he would do is because they can see your screen, they know what you're looking at. They keep track of the keystrokes. They know they can check the history of your browser. They know what you look at. All right, well, we were watching the video, and what he would do is he'd turn the volume up, or he'd turn the volume down, or he'd turn the volume up, or he'd turn the volume down, or you take control of the cursor, you know, the little arrow right on your screen. You take control of the cursor and he changed the videos on us. Or me and Baby sitting there watching, you know what I'm saying, and all of a sudden, bang, it would just change. And be like, what the hell? You know, they could do anything. You know, Babe, remember that shit?
Yes.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way. You know, if you have to be aware of what's going on. You don't know when your machine's a bot. Unless you're a computer programmer or you know a computer programmer and they write you a little software program that scans your machine, you run it every day and it scans your machine and it tells you, or it tells itself, you know what I'm saying, what's going on. And then at that point, what you need to do is you need to have a programmer, right, clean your machine, because Kaspersky's virus protection ain't going to help you. That go online and, you know, get your machine clean for free ain't going to help you. Once your machine's turned into a bot, right, somebody else has control of it. It's that simple. Right? There's really not a whole lot you can do. You can protect yourself against it. The way to protect yourself is to set up a firewall, you know what I'm saying, or just be mindful of whatever website you're on, because a lot of times they piggyback in, because like I said before, they write these little plugins or scrapers or whatever the hell they're calling them these days, right? And it scans IP addresses, and they're looking for IP addresses that are unprotected. You know, remember I was telling you about like your phone, you know what I'm saying? Or in this case, it's like your internet connection, your little modem box. If you don't have some kind of protection set up on it, you know what I'm saying, a lockout or whatever, it's unprotected, and these little programs are looking for these unprotected IP addresses, and once they find one, boom, its secondary program kicks in, and it jumps right in, and it's right into your machine through the cable, comes in your head. And it's even easier if you're on Wi-Fi, you know, right? That's how they do it. That's why they do it. Oh, there's a lot of reasons. I started this little ditty out story about what happened to Vandenberg Air Force Base. Well, for the most part, you know what I'm saying, they do it so that they can crack into banking networks, you know, corporation networks, right? A lot of times they're doing it for corporate espionage reasons and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, teenage kids nowadays have discovered how to create bots, and then what they're doing is they're creating bot networks so they can play video games, so they can smash their friends, you know what I'm saying, with their video game network. Right? It's really crazy. I mean, it's nowadays there's all of this technology allows you to do anything. My friend's favorite line is, "I can make your computer do anything you want." Well, you know, up until a little while ago, I never knew what that meant, because I never knew what I wanted it to do. Now that I know what I want it to do, now I understand what he means. Right? Bots. You gotta look out for them.